Yeah, so for all my, I don't know why it stopped and whatever, but yeah, so for all my people, all my parents, please pay attention to the signs. Like with my son, I'm always checking his bag, I'm always asking questions. Yes, there's gonna be times when, you're not gonna know everything as a parent because kids do hide things from you. But when a teacher is taking extra interest in your child, you need to take interest in that teacher. And it's just too bad that, the father was working extra shifts so he didn't pick up on it. But thankfully, she had a brother that came with her to court and supported her. Because guess what? Even if your child seem like they independent and don't need you, they need you the most in their teenage years. They need your guidance. She didn't have nobody telling her like, hey, if he's messing with you, that's wrong. Not one person said that. Luckily, she had a teacher that reported it, but I wish they would have came to her and said, hey, what's going on with you and Cummins? Like, you could talk to me. You could, I'm here to support you. The teacher didn't do that. They just went and snitched. And I feel like that's wrong. I feel like if you see something, you should approach that student to be like, yo, you can come and talk to me, whatever, whatever. And then the student was probably afraid. But as far as the teacher to be like, to see something and then just report it, people making her, people are pointing a finger at her and she's not the predator, he is. And what people don't realize is that predators are able to continue and do what they do because they're not getting reported. So I'm happy that those two people reported it. They saw something. I'm happy the sister listened to her and was like, if you don't hear from me, call the police. So that's good that people did report it, because if they didn't, who's to say where she would be today, right? If the teacher would have never said nothing, if the student would have never said what they saw, the police would have never known nothing. So I'm glad that they spoke up. I'm glad that the sister, even though she was always glued to her phone, she said something to her dad. They, call the police when she wasn't home by a certain time. So there were positive things about the story, and she had a loving family. Any adult that tells you that nobody cares about you, and this goes for family, friends, anybody who tells you, and I don't care what you told about your folks to whatever. If they turn around and say, oh, they don't care about you, that's not a person you should be hanging around. Unless if they know specific details and they've been there and they like, that's not a person that, like, say for example, if you say something like, oh, um God forbid, if one of your parents, they touched you, and they say, well, that person that touched you don't care about you, then that makes sense. But if you have like a simple argument, and this is how the devil tries to manipulate, because they want to make you feel like I care about you. How you care about me and you trying to sleep with me? And I'm talking to my kids, I'm talking to my teenagers. Anybody who wants to be inappropriate with you, or they're flirty with you, or any type of sexual contact, and they doing things that's not normal and that is not right, and then they talk about the one support system you have, and they try to say things like, oh, you need to cut them off, they don't care about you, that is the devil, and you need to cut that person off. And I can't be more, and sometimes it could be family members in some cases that will try to whatever, but be careful of that, because they're trying to destroy your support system. And support and family is everything. Your parents are important, right? Now, in some cases, whatever, but you have a dad who loves you, he just work a lot. That doesn't mean he doesn't care about you. So for a teacher to come to you and say, oh, your sisters, your family don't care about you, it's time for you to cut that teacher off, or cut that adult, that negative adult off. Because then they're going to get in your mind, they're going to manipulate you, and that's what happens. That's a result of manipulation, right? He didn't love her. He just was using her for sex. And she realized that after, or whatever, through therapy and everything else, that their relationship was not normal. It is not normal for a 52-year-old to be engaging in sex with a 15-year-old. Period. Period. You know. So, and then the way he did it was just so sick because like I said, the reason why he pointed her out, it wasn't because of whatever, is she was an easy target, right? She was an easy target, so that's why he went to her, right? So we need to support our youth. Don't judge them. Don't just jump to, you have a lot of adults that jump to conclusions. Let's support our youth. Let's, talk to our youth. The fact that she felt like she had nobody to talk to, that's not good. That's not good, But it's on Tubi and Lifetime. Lifetime, they have a streaming network, and it's called Abducted by My Teacher, the Elizabeth Thomas story, and Tad Cummins was the predator. Those are my thoughts.